Wait, good afternoon. Just wait. Give it a couple of seconds for a few people to turn up, um, and we will get into this torso drawing session. So, my name is Art Walker, and I will be taking you through how you can learn to draw the human torso. So, we're going to break this down very basically, look at all the basic elements, and then we will slowly adapt what we see with regards to adding more detail, more muscle, and hopefully a little bit of shading. So that would be the goal for the day. As you probably know, this my live streams are quite interactive. So if you are liking what you see, please hit the like button. And if you are really liking what you see, please share the live, repost, and spread the word. That would be great. So let's get into this. As you may know, I am Art Walker. I am the man behind all of these live tutorials, and today's tutorial is about the torso. I'm just waiting for one thing to. Okay, so let's just use that quickly. Good. Okay, so I hope you all have got a pen and paper. If you haven't, please grab one now and we will get straight into this. So, who's in the house? It's a how many? I can't see anything. Oh, only three people. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just soldier on. As you can see here, I've got a couple of examples here of some bodies that I've drawn. I've gone into a little bit of detail with regards to the rib cage and so on, and then add in the abdominals. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to break down how we can draw this area of the human body. So how do we do that? So I'm going to just put this to the side. For me, the first thing you have to understand is that we have, maybe just put this light on just quickly so it's a little bit brighter. Just a second. Yeah, that might be a little bit better for the later viewing. So, first of all, I would like you to understand that there's a few ways to draw the human body. However, one of the ways that I like to do it is, and I think it's commonly known, is to draw simple blocks on top of each other. So this is pretty much as basic as it could possibly be, right? So this is basically the shape that we're going to be working with. How you doing, Maria? I hope you're doing well. So we're going to start like that, right? So obviously we have very different body shapes, different body types. So let's go male and female. So the female, so I know I'm stereotyping a little, but the female body is slightly more petite in this sense. The rib cage is slightly smaller. However, the hips and the size of the hips are actually bigger. So that's pretty much what we need to establish straight away. I'm good, thank you. So we're going to look at how we can break down. So for example, here you could see that's quite a feminine body, the pose and so on. Not an easy pose to draw if you don't know the mechanics of the body. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with just a male figure first, and hopefully we've got enough time to go on to drawing the female. How you doing, Jeannie? Nice to see you. Right, so these are the basic shapes that we have to work with initially. But you have to also bear in mind that this, say for example, this box here, it's not flat, right? So if you think to yourself, okay, it looks flat, get that out of your mind. It's not flat. It's a three-dimensional object. How you doing, Ralman? Good. So Ray's also in the house. So say for example here, let's just draw an arrow here. Whoops, like so. So this body part if we turn it around, it would look like this. Is everyone in agreement with regards to that, right? The same for the female. It would also look like that. However, it would be a little bit smaller, right? So that's the shape that we're thinking of when we look at this shape here, right? The hips are slightly different, right? Let's just draw the hips under here for now. And that would look similar to, oops, not like that, like this would look similar to this shape here. Do you see what I mean? So now we've got the torso and we have now the hip section here. Like so, I'll just shade that up quickly. So now we've got a three-dimensional view of the same body part. Is everyone clear on that? Is everyone clear? Yeah? Good. Okay. So now, obviously the human body doesn't look like a block like this or a box. So what we have to do is we'll take that shape again. And please practice while I'm doing this as well, because you'll definitely benefit from it. So if this is our rectangle again, now all you have to do is round off that rectangle. And then you have the rib cage. Is everyone getting that? Is everyone getting that? And you might be thinking, why are we doing this? Because if you want to get to this level, we have to know what that is first. We have to study the basic elements before we go on to the next level. Yeah? So that is, okay, I'm going to leave that here actually. So people, when they join, they see that we're doing quite cool stuff. It's exactly. Exactly. Oh, that was a dad joke. I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. So that's what we're working with, right? So, very important. If we're adding the hips, obviously we can round off the hips as well, right? So let's round off our hips, and then we are pretty much ready to rumble because we've got a rounded off body shape, and that's very important to know. Exactly. Yes, right? So good. Has everybody got that? Has everybody got that? And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you really like what you see, please share the live to as many people as possible. AI or real? 100% real. No question there. No question there. So now what we have to do is I'm going to ask you guys a question, right? So this line here, is it at the front or is it at the back? This line here. I'm just checking to see who's awake. Some say front, some say back. Right. So in theory, there's no wrong answer there. Because in theory, this here is at the front. And this here is at the back. So nobody's really wrong there. But it's just interesting to see that people sometimes they say it's the front. And some people say it's the back. However, it's both, right? So if I draw the hips like this, and then we have our spine going up this way, right? And then it curves up towards the back. So the neck is going to start here. I'm going to pull a line down here. And now we have, that's a little bit wide, but you get my point. Now we have our spine to here, roughly. Here. Hold on, let me just get my... Yeah, no, it's both. It's actually both. Yeah, it's both. This is what people don't get. And this is, it sounds so obvious when I say it, And people go, yeah, but it's the back. Oh, it's the front. No, because you have to think 3D, right? So look, if we're looking at this part here stops here. So that in turn would be here. It would stop around there, right? And then this green line here is here. And that goes down to here. Obviously, it's running behind. It's running behind our chest here. Do you see that? That is important to, yeah, this is important. Yes. So this is the side. This is the front. And then we've got front and side. So that is important. So when you draw the torso, you see I've got this line here. You have to have it in your mind that this is the front and you have a line that's running at the back. This is important to just to have in the back of your mind. The colors do help. I that's why I like these colors. Any colors that I use, they just help a lot. See, because like now, if I do the same thing again here, everyone knows exactly what I mean. Just by that. Just a short little trick, but it makes a big difference. How do you know what the proportions are? I always struggle. So usually we should have 3 heads to the hips. So that would be, let's say that's 1. Then we got 1, 2, and roughly to here should be 3. Yeah, it's just a little bit right. Just a little bit short here. But it's around 3 heads to the hips. 3 heads. But that varies. I haven't fully learned the anatomy. I'm still learning. But I've got a good idea. I've got quite a good idea. So in theory, if we were to add a head here, it would be roughly that size. And then we go 1, 2, 3. 3 heads. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button and share. That would be great. You will be able to draw like me, that's for sure. Even better. I think you just need to practice. We got a lock-in twin. Do you guys know each other? So, and if you're not following me, this is going to be recorded and you can watch it again on my YouTube channel. So if you've missed something, as you can see, I've got Art Walker. Watch on Art Walker YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and then you'll be able to watch this video again. How you doing, Mazzy? Are you feeling better today? I like the idea of the anatomy for sure, but it's the shapes. Well, this is why I take my time. This is why I do it very, very slowly, very methodically. As you can see, it's like you can see the progression. This is important for me when I'm teaching, especially if I'm teaching younger people, like quite young, like 10 years old. It's important that they see these logical steps, and I find that it helps a lot. Yeah, cool. So anyone got any questions quickly before I continue? And if you like what you see, please hit the like button and share and follow. If you're not following, I'm doing this for free. I probably won't be doing it for free for much longer. So unfortunately, I do ask and I do not receive. So unfortunately, I will have to change my concept. I have to change my business model because I ask kindly, but I don't receive. So I have to change it. How long is it? have you been drawing? Today I have been drawing for 15 minutes. Have you got YouTube? Have you got access to YouTube? If you have access to YouTube, you can join my YouTube channel and you will find there is a tutorial and it's called the Crooked House hand drawing technique. There are around 50 videos there. Around 50, maybe even 60 nearly. Maybe by the end of the day, 60. So you can definitely find one there. Good. Okay, so no questions. Right, so let's keep going. So let's do the same thing again. Basic torso, right? I would just start it as a cross. And you can, if you want, you can draw it up as a box like so. Then you add your hips. Again, keep that nice and centered, not like me. So you can draw your person. And I would practice that a few times, all right? As you know, this is the opening for the neck and so on. And then we have the higher opening of our chest here. So now we're going to get a little bit more complicated because we're going to add a few more details. Here we would have our arms and shoulder joint here. That is roughly to where our rib cage is here. We're not going to go into arms today, but just to let you know, this is basically what we're going to be studying today. Yeah? And then we would add our collarbone and so on. So we're going to go a little bit deeper now. So get ready for the deep end. We've touched on the light stuff. Now we're going to get into it a bit deeper. You're welcome. Okay. I think my technique works better than yours, Mel, but never mind. Anyway, right. So let's get into this. Right. So let's draw. Just making sure I'm centered on the camera. So let's draw the torso. I'm going to do it nice and big. The same like here, right? But we're going to do it nice and big. I'm just gauging the dimensions because I'm not adding the head, so it's not too bad. We don't have to go too much into it. We can actually do the hips a little bit smaller, and I'm just roughly gauging the proportions here. All right. How you doing, Mazzy? Are you good? And then we are now going to round everything off. Like someone said earlier, we can add this egg shape. So we're going to add this egg shape. It's higher at the top here. Drop it back down like so. Slightly narrower on the hips here. Everyone got that type of shape? This is where our head would be, or excuse me, our neck would be. Obviously the head belongs on the top of that. So now everybody knows that this line up until here is at the front. This line roughly to about here is at the back. Yeah, is everyone getting that? So remember, blue is at the front. So that would be from here to here. Right, so I'm going to mark it just quickly from here to here. And then we've got our green, which is from here to here. And that is the lower back. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people not very well at the moment. Yes, you can. But I just started with a box first. Because then people, if I just draw an egg on the side, maybe it's not as easy to understand. But we do, in turn that into an egg shape in the end. See, we would turn it into an egg shape. Obviously, there are different levels. Everybody's got their own artistic level. So I'm not sure what people know. Obviously, we've got probably language barriers and so on. So I just start with simple blocks. I usually go whatever time I want. You're welcome, broski. You're welcome. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And let's keep going. So I'm just going to highlight here, the chest here. We have our collarbone and our clavicle and so on. This, it looks, if this is this area, this opening here, right? It almost looks like a tie. In here, this part here almost looks like a tie. And the rib cage goes down like so, right? And then we have our collarbone like so, and it's slightly bent like that. We're not going to go into too much detail, but that is basically what I'm now going to draw here. See, I've got my collarbone, and that would be here. Yeah, and then I would have my arm like so. That would be for our neck. As I said before, our rib cage, spine, and hips. Is everyone getting that? Is everyone getting that? So, I'm going to just, yeah, someone said yes, that's good. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And thank you very, very much for the kind gifts. And share the live if you care. I'm trying to keep this for free, people. So you guys have to keep me keeping this for free. I really want to keep it for free, but if I don't get the support from you guys, then I can't keep it for free. Then I will just have to go down the other road and start charging like everybody else. So please share and follow and so on, just to support the channel. I don't get much from this. I just do it because I try to help people. So we are now here. So I'm going to add this detail here, right? So you have to imagine here, the middle of the rib cage, it has a slight opening. It has a flat spot there. Oh, thank you, Mother Honor. That is really nice. Oh, thank you very, very much. Wow. Thank you. I'm not going to say it anymore, but that is much appreciated. Really appreciate that. So you've got this opening here, right? And as I said, it looks almost like a tie. So we're just gonna bulge it slightly here. We're talking about this area here. And then we have our collarbone, but I'm not going to go too much into it. It bends slightly and goes back up. Bends slightly, goes back up. I can't really explain that shape. We have to do a bit of a deep dive if you want to know exactly how that looks, right? We're just going to leave it like that. So basically the shape that I have drawn, I can highlight it here. This is the bone here. It goes down and it goes back up like that. It comes like, that's our collarbone. Yeah? So, yeah, that was really nice, Mother. That was really nice, but I'm sure you're appreciating what I do. So, let's add some details to this. Now, we're not going to add, like, I don't know how many. I think we've got, how many ribs have we got? We've got like 9 or so. I'm going to count them actually. Just a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Roughly around 10, right? So we've got roughly 10 ribs on our rib cage, right? And the floating rib, but we're not going to go too much into that. That's not that important. What I would suggest you do now is, if I leave this in blue, I'm going to swap pens, and now I'm going to go red. So the reason I'm going red is so then you can see exactly how the torso connects to the hips, like so. Right? So this area here that I've just highlighted, that's our abdominal area. Right? This area here this is our oblique muscles here, coming down here. You see, now we're starting to put it all together. Yeah? So we've got our obliques and we've got our abdominals. So, 6, some people say we have 8. Some people do actually have 8 muscles. So we can go along here. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe let's do it a bit lower. A little bit lower, like so. So these are the distances I need for my 6-pack, right? So I'm now going to highlight the 6-pack. So we've got a nice defined 6-pack here. You can go up that way, like so, and like so. And again, the last one, this one would be here, like so. So now we've just defined the abdominal area. You see that? Is everyone getting that? And the line I've drawn here literally looks like this. It's like a very, very soft W. I'll do it again here. It's like a very soft W, so I'll do my soft W like that. Tuck. Again. And again. And then we've got a pretty cool looking 6-pack. Everyone happy? Any questions about that? Any questions? I'm just going to wait. See if anyone's got any questions. If you like what you see, please hit the like button. To support my channel, as you know, I'm offering this for free. And I'll just wait a second before I continue. You're not doing it right. Good. Okay. If you're not doing it right, that's okay. That means we can do it again anyway. That's for sure. That's for sure. So now I'm going to keep going anyway. Here, roughly in the middle or just above the solar plexus, I would say. Just above the solar plexus, I'm going to draw a curved line like so. So that helps to wrap the chest muscle around the chest. If we did a straight line, it would look weird. How do you draw? Well, that would be a totally different tutorial. And it depends what type of body you mean. Because it doesn't matter what, if you're drawing a body and you want to make it have a different shape, say for example, you want it to be heavier with regards to weight, the body actually is the same. Everybody's body is the same. However, the weight that we carry is different. So you just have to add on to that frame, if you know what I mean. Good. Okay, so now I need to add my shoulders, because that is quite important for this part anyway. This part of the drawing, it's important that we have our shoulders and arm drawn up. So, as you can see, my collarbone is connected, not connected, but they work together with the arm itself. because it's quite a complex area of bones there. But usually when I draw that, I would draw it simply like this. That is enough. You don't need to go much further than that. Like here, I could just simply just draw the arms like this. You can simplify everything. You don't have to go this deep, right? So why did I do that? Because our chest is connected to our arm here. It's actually connected. That's why I drew that up. And they are also connected to our collarbone. And then we have these tendons that splay out in this type of direction. Yeah? It's getting a little bit deeper now. It's getting a little bit deeper now. And collarbone is good. Thank you. We're getting into the deep water now. All right? But don't worry. We got this. I've noticed a few people have bailed out already. But this is going to make a big difference to your artwork, right? If you want your artwork to get to good levels, right? I mean like really good levels, you have to have this foundation. Because then you don't leave anything to chance. You can literally say, right, I am doing this. I know how to draw the body. I know roughly how this works and that works. You will only benefit from this. Yeah, next week I might be a bit busy, but if you're not following me on or subscribing to my YouTube or my Discord is where you can be informed as to when I go live. YouTube, you can watch my videos if you haven't seen them already. So if you just joined me now, join my YouTube, because then you can watch all of these videos that I'm doing here. Yeah, so thank you. And if you have subscribed, just let me know and say subscribe, because I'd like that. That would be nice. So we have a slight separation in the chest here. Tick, tick, tick. And then these are the muscles that we have on our chest. Right here. Yeah? Has anyone got any questions? I know someone was struggling. Just tell me where you were struggling and I'll try and help you out. I will try and help you out, because it does get a little bit deep, but it looks pretty cool actually, if I say so myself. I'll give you guys a moment. Ah, good. Thank you, VS double TB. Cacti comment. I remember. How you doing, Cacti comment? Having a hard time distinguishing lines. Hold on. Having a hard time distinguishing lines you keep and lines. Ah, okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Right. So let's look at it again. Let's look at it here, right? We've got this example here, right? You have to imagine on my drawing, I don't know about yours, on my drawing, everything that I've added that is red is muscle. That's basically what you have to remember. Everything that I've added is muscle. Excuse me, in red. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you should, because then you can find this kind of stuff. Colby, is that helping you now? Is that helping you? I will give you a moment. Exactly. Yes, this is where you'll see that's why I use a lot of different colors, because if I was to do this with a pencil, that would be a nightmare. You wouldn't be able to understand, because if I'm drawing it myself, like if I draw this myself, I just draw it because I know what I want to do, where I want to put it, where everything is. Do you see what I mean? I don't need to distinguish these lines. This looks like absolute chaos to everybody else, which is understandable. However, for me, it's logic because I built this up. So this is why I take the time to break down the subjects in different colors. But this is how I draw. This is how I would draw it. I could draw that without, I'm not going to say without thinking about it, but because that wouldn't be the truth. But if I was to draw this, if I was to draw something like this, we can have a look at the time. Let's call it 45. I would just draw it like this. See, so I'm just demonstrating to you now what I would do if I wanted to draw something like that, right? So there you go, I got that. This is coming here, and then I'll add maybe the arms. So I've got placements, so I'm adding my arm placement. See, one color is difficult for anyone to understand, but for me, because I've pretty much done this a million times, I can fly through it and I know pretty much exactly where I want everything to be and so on. This is just a quick demonstration. There you go. So that's pretty much the same as what we've got here, but in one color. Yeah, thank you for the follows, by the way. Much appreciated. You see, so this is why I take you through it stage by stage, and then we add layer by layer, because there are many layers to this, and if you don't know the layers, you're going to get lost, I guarantee you, and you're going to give up because it is quite complicated. However, it's very doable if you have the logical steps to follow. Yeah? Is everyone getting that? Thank you, Colby. Thank you very much. The best is yet to come, Colby. I can tell you that. The best is yet to come. So, has anyone got any questions about what we've done up until now? Anyone got any questions? And this is being recorded, by the way, so you will be able to watch this again on my YouTube. You will be able to watch that again. I've been, well, I've always liked drawing as I've grown up, but now I'm really pushing my drawing work now. I'm actually training it now. I never trained it before. I never went to art college, and I'm just someone that is pretty dedicated to what I'm doing now. So this is why I've picked up. I'm picking up speed. I'm actually now feeling a lot more comfortable with my drawing skills. Before I wasn't. I was just drawing, but now I'm really putting in the work. Put it in the study. And thank you very much for the gifts and the follows. And as I said before, this is being recorded and you can find it on my YouTube. Not related, but do you use the Loomis method to draw the face? I draw it in a very similar way, because I don't necessarily use the because I didn't even know this method existed, because I've got a totally different book and it's very similar. But the head is it's like a geometrical shape, right? So if you've got the head, any head shape is very geometrical. You have a center line, you have a brow line, you have points where excuse me, where your jawline would be, and you have your eye line. This is, for me, I don't know if you could call that the Loomis method, because for me that's logically the way you're going to draw a human head. It's just a logical way to draw the human head. But that's how I would do it. Whether I knew the Loomis method or not, I don't know. So I suppose you could say yes, but I've never learnt it. So I don't know what. Yeah, yeah. This is someone. Well, I suppose he was an artist, and he breaks down the head geometrically, and you can see like that. It looks similar to this type of style. But I can't say it is the Loomis because I've never studied it, to be honest. Oh, usually when you draw, do you actually follow that pattern? Oh, yeah, I draw this is all from memory. This is from memory, because I did this the other day, and I will literally just sit here. I'll have some podcast on, and I will just graft the same thing. As you can see here, I've drawn it, I don't know, one, two, three, four, maybe 15 times, you know, and each time I'm evaluating it. Oh, what's this? Oh, how does this look when the arms are up? Or I'm constantly drawing it again and again and again, to the point that yeah, it's not too bad. I'm trying to look for somewhere where you can see there's an obvious mistake, but that's the goal, is to try and yeah, this is not 100% correct, because I was trying to twist the body, I was trying to play with the motion of the body, but this is how I graph things. Like here I made a little bit of a mistake, but that's all part of my learning process. Thank you. No, I don't draw comics. No, I just draw. I've never drawn a comic. So okay, so let's get back into this. So we could actually just add. Let's just do it just so it's for presentation's sake. We'll add the shoulder muscle here, and then we are pretty much sorted, right? So now we've got our torso drawn up. So you do actually see some muscles, the lat muscles here. We do actually see them coming out to the side, like so. That's what we would actually see. And that the lat would be at the back here. That would be that muscle here that we're now seeing. We're seeing that one there. And that's from the front, right? And then we have these smaller muscles that I'm not going to add too many. I'll just add around 3 that connect to the ribs, excuse me. They connect to our ribs. And then we are pretty much done with the front. Yes. Yeah. Is everyone getting that? Yeah, it's always a challenge. Like, say for example here, that's what I was working on it here. But you don't have to see all that detail, you see. This is very over the top, you know. But once you start, say for example, if you want to draw someone like in that position, all I have to do is establish what all I try to establish is, let me get the right pen. I go, right, okay, like so. And this is why I say you can draw your egg shape or you can draw your box shape, right? So let's go box shape here. And then I'm going to add the hips here. So in theory, if we round that off, like so, because this person is kind of tipping to my left, this muscle should be compressed, right? It should be compressed, and this one should be stretched. And then this one down to here, and this one should also be stretched. And then probably we wouldn't have so much of a pinch here, it would be more of a stretch. And then we've got a person tilting to the side. Do you see my point? And that's what you have to experiment with it. And when this one here, when with the body's bending forward, is quite tricky as well, because then you have to think about where the neck is positioned, the head is positioned. That's quite tricky, but you don't need to set yourself these really, really hard challenges. Just like little ones like this, you can play around with. This one's a pretty cool one, you know, with the tilting of the hips and stuff like that. It's a nice one, you know, because you get the energy from the image, and that's the main thing. I know everyone tells me that. Everyone says that I look like Anderson Silva. Every time, nearly every time. Has anyone got any questions? Thank you. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do so. Everybody says that. Has anyone got any questions? So, like, what I would suggest is, so for example, here we draw our hips just as a simple exercise, right? Just draw some hips and draw a curved line like so, right? So now you have to really think about what you're doing. If something's tipping, or if our hips are tipping in that direction, it would literally tip like that, right? As we discussed earlier, I don't know if you guys, I don't know who's in the chat, I'm going to ask the same question. Is this line at the front or is it at the back? How can you get as good as me? You follow me, and then you can get as good as me, and then you can get even better. That's for sure. You follow and you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because then you can just watch videos about me all day and learn everything I know. So is this line at the front or is it at the back? This line here. I asked this question before, and there's a reason why. Do you think realistic style is much more? I think if you can do realistic, I think you can do anime. I don't know if it's the other way around. I'm not sure. Right, so response says at the front. Oh, sorry, excuse me. It said the back. Who else? Anyone else? This line, is this line at the front or at the back? This line here. We've got another one saying at the back. Already followed. Thank you very much. Right. So we've got a few that are saying it's at the back. I got this good through practice. Samuel Art. Yes. At the see, there you go. This is so important. Look at this here. Look at what I did here. We have, and you're all right. You're all right pretty much, but no one got it fully right. Because if this blue line represents the rib cage, this green line represents the spine, which is at the back. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's important that you understand that this is not a flat object. If you see this as a flat object, you're going to struggle. That's why I did this here. Blue is at the front, green at the back. Right? So that's what you got to understand. And then obviously we add our details, right? So let's add our rib details like so. And I'm going to stick to the color scheme. I'm going to pinch the oblique muscle in here. Like so. And then we're going to stretch this one here. And stretch the abs here. And then here the abs would be obviously a little bit more compressed. And then we can establish, our abdominal muscles like so. Like I said, you can simply draw that, a ball and a line. You don't have to draw this because you're not going to see that detail. However, once you start to, if you want to draw accurately, you're going to have to know these little tricks, and then you can just simply build on that. I can continue to build on that and turn that into an arm, because I'm literally building onto this bone here, and it makes your artwork look a little bit more realistic, and it's easier to follow, I find. It's easier to follow. Now we've got a muscular male. It doesn't, obviously it doesn't have to be this muscular, right? But if you can change it, you can make these guys a lot slimmer or whatever, these girls. But just for this purpose, I draw it quite muscular, just so you can see what's going on. Like so. Yes, I would study the skeleton, But when you study the skeleton, you don't have to draw it like this. You can literally, even if you're drawing the human head, you draw it like this. When my pen works, you draw it like this. What you have to do, what I would recommend you do, is you simplify everything first. Draw it in its most simplest form. Hold on a minute. That's half. Like so. I'm going to simplify everything. Even the arms, I'm simplifying the arms. You see, I'm not getting into complicated bones and stuff like that. I'm going to simplify the legs. So Samuel, I would do it that way. Everywhere you see me draw a circle, that is a joint. Whoops, that hand is a bit too long, excuse me. My mistake. Everywhere you see a circle, you see that is where the joints are. So if you study the skeleton, you don't need to go mad and study it to, doctor's level. You can just study it like this. And then that's a good way to study proportion. Your 3 heads to the hips, your 4 heads for the legs. Simplified. How will it look from the back? It will look like that. And I've got a back drawing tutorial on my feed, on my YouTube feed. And that is a really good one. So if you want to learn how to draw the back, go to my YouTube and type in Art Walker back drawing technique. Then you'll be all right. You'll find out how to draw the back. And it's literally my technique. That is mine. That's got my name written all over it. Literally. Thank you. Who wrote that one? Mate. Thank you, mate 5051. Yes, I would use the spine. I would use the spine for pretty much. No, not only. I think it's important to use the spine and then know where the hips belong. Then you know where the torso belongs. Do you see that? So you can literally use that in seconds, pretty much, and then add your body to it. See? I can just add my body to that. I wanted to add, well, I don't want to change the color again, but I will. So we can, oops, excuse me, a bit low, like so. So, as I said, spine, hips, shoulders, and build from there. That's what I try to do. And you need to check my YouTube, and then after that, I haven't got my other pen. Where's my green pen gone? I've lost my green pen. Oh, there. that's where you just add your cylinders to it. If you want to learn to draw gestures and stuff like that, practice that a million times. Just get used to messing around, making mistakes, 1 million mistakes, and then one day it's just going to fall into place. And then you've got a cool little gesture, and you're not laboring over it. You can do it quite easily. The light that he drew. Oh, okay. Yeah, this was the front. This was the front. This is the back. That is the back. Well, I'm not gonna draw the back today. But if you check that out on the YouTube, you'll see it. It is literally this. Yeah, the concept is the same. Yes, well, it depends. Well, it's exactly the same. If this is the front, if this is the front, this is the back. It's not totally different. So look, if that's the front, okay, the head would be roughly this size, and we would see the face, right? See the rib cage to here. The back would be the same. The head would be around the same height. However, we wouldn't see the jawline, we would just see the neck and shoulders. And then after that, you just add your back details or your chest details. So we now have a person from the back, and then we have someone from the front, because that would be the back of the head. Spine would be there. Spine would be here. So in this case, this green line would be from here to here, and then it would stop here. And we wouldn't see the blue line because it's from here to here. So, we've gone over time already. Thank you for all of their kind gifts, and please hit the like button if you like what you see. Very good. Thank you, Roberto. In my opinion, you should practice the complicated parts, then simplify it. Yeah, I would simplify the complicated parts, yes. I think I would reword it, yes. But yeah, I think you're right there. But simplify the complicated parts, yes. You're welcome, Neen. You can find that on my YouTube. I was just mainly focusing on the chest and torso today, because the back, if you go to my YouTube and look up Art Walker, whoops, I can't even spell my own name. Art Walker back drawing technique. Excuse me, it's called AW actually. AW back drawing technique. AW. So the AW is back, Art Walker back drawing technique. You'll find that, and it's literally my technique. So you will find how to draw a back. I can't even write. Talking too much. Technique. I haven't done a back one for a very long time. I should. And a hand one. You'll see hand drawing techniques, back, the head, eyes I haven't done for a very long time. I haven't done any animals for a while. I'm going to stick to the body for now. But animal anatomy can be broken down in the same way as we break down human anatomy, because we have bones and muscles. So you can break it down. I did actually do one. When was that? I don't know. Don't know if it's in here at the top somewhere. I actually drew a horse the other day. That's what I did. So you can see, I did another one. That wasn't the one I wanted to show you. Sorry, I'm just quickly having a look for this. No, I can't find it. I must have put it in another drawer. But there you go. The same techniques can be used to draw even horses. Good. Has anyone got any questions before I let you all go? Has anyone got any questions? Someone did ask about drawing bodies that are maybe slightly heavier. Never forget that the human body, everyone has the same body, so to say. If we draw a person that is heavier, right, they're carrying more weight, all we have to do is add that weight to this body. You have to understand, where does the body collect the surplus fluid or fat, so to say, right? And then you see, this body was a slim body before, but now we can make everything a little bit heavier and wider, because the body shape is very much the same, even though someone is carrying more weight. I'm trying to be diplomatic with the way I say it. I don't want to upset anyone. But you see what I mean? You literally just add that weight to the body. Make it rounder here. First of all, it was quite slim, but we've now rounded it off. So now we've got a more rounded body. If that's your goal. Good. So the chat it's gone very quiet actually. So I'll ask if anyone's got any questions, and if you don't have any questions, I think we will sign this one off. Unless anyone's got any questions. So I think good. Okay. Thank you all for joining me. That was great fun. I hope you learned something. You're more than welcome. I'll upload this, I might even do it today. I'll put it on my YouTube. So if you want to watch it again, you can watch it again and you can go through the process again and understand it. But it takes a little bit of practice. But follow these steps. Make sure that this step is clear. Then that step is clear. Then that. Then you can start going a little bit further. And then you should be okay. But you have to take your time and do it in stages. And then the next time we meet, maybe I will do another one and I'll talk a little bit more about different hatch techniques. I've done this really, really quickly. But I need to do a nice one on hatching hatching the mussels and stuff like that. If that's interesting to you, I'm not sure, but hopefully it is. Good. Good. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I'm not sure. I might even do another live on hand drawing, because I haven't done one on hands and I haven't done one on eyes for a while. So I might do another one more for the day on either eyes or hands. Hand drawing. Trios is straight in there. I might do one. So look out for me in around half an hour, because then you might see I will jump on and do a hand drawing tutorial. Yeah? Thank you very much, Mazzy, I keep saying your name wrong. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong or right. Mazzy, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. And I know you're not well, so get well soon and hopefully you can have a rest. But don't worry, you don't have to mediate all the time, you know, or moderate. You don't have to. You can just bail out whenever you want, you know. But I appreciate that. Okay. Take care. See you guys possibly in half an hour. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you, King.